Hello, and welcome to this easy tutorial on how to work with the Ultimate Table plugin. In less than 10 minutes, I will explain everything you need to know. Very briefly, this plugin allows you to create tables where both rows and columns can be resized, dragged, duplicated, and so on. And once you have created a master table, you can create copies of it that will follow the styling of that master. The tutorial is divided into 6 chapters. Creating a master table, basic layout editing, organizing rows and columns, content editing, duplicating tables, and finally duplicating rows and columns. Chapter 1. Creating a master table. After installing the plugin, go to the Ultimate Table from the plugin menu and choose Create Table. Then set all your preferences: width, number of rows and columns, border radius, border, paddings, header background color. You can either pick a color or use a hex value. Switch zebra styling on or off. And finally choose font and font size. Then click Create New Table. You will now see the created master table, and above it you will find the small components that were used to create it. But more on that later. Chapter 2. The layout of the table. First of all, we can change the width by dragging the right side of the table. All columns will automatically adjust to the new width. You can also do this by selecting the table and entering a value in the Figma panel. And you can even do this in a third way, via the Edit Table feature. As you select the table, you will see some action buttons appear in the bottom right of the Figma panel. One of them is the Edit Table button. It will open a panel where you can adjust all styling options. During this tutorial, you will notice that depending on the element you have selected, the action buttons at the bottom right change accordingly. Chapter 3. Organizing rows and columns. Now, in the next couple of minutes, I'll be talking a lot about select this or that. If you are familiar with Figma, it is good to know that you can select the elements I'm talking about in the Layers panel too. The table has a very clear structure, similar to an HTML table. A row is a TR element and a cell is a TD element. Please do not change the naming of these layers, as the whole functionality of the table depends on it. When working with this plugin, there is one important thing you need to remember. All tweaking of columns is done in the first rows below the header. So for instance, to set the alignment, select the cell in the first row and choose the alignment with one of the action buttons. To set the width of a column, again select the top cell and manually adjust the width, either by dragging or entering a value. All other columns will divide the remaining space between them. To move a column, again select the top cell and drag it to the desired location. When changing widths or ordering, be sure to select the cell and not the content inside the cell. To move a row, simply select the row and drag it to the desired position. If you have chosen zebra styling and you drag the rows, you can reset the zebra by selecting the table and clicking the Reset Zebra action button. Remember, always leave the first row at the top, as it is the master for all other rows. Chapter 4. Content Editing. When you adjust the text in the first row, all other rows will follow. This allows you to quickly enter data. However, if you overrule the text in one of the other rows, that value will remain, even if you adjust the text in the first row. To change the content type of a column, select the top cell and change the type, for example, to badge. The header cells have some extra layout options too. By selecting a header cell and moving over to the variant settings, you can show the filterable, searchable, and sortable icons. Note that the height of the table is set automatically, because when a column is resized, the cell content is wrapped over 2, 3, or more lines and thus determines the height of the table. Chapter 5. Duplicating tables. When you create a copy of the master table, this copy will follow the styling of the master to maintain uniformity. So, for instance, if you want to change the padding, you select the main table, click on Edit Table, and apply the changes. And you will see all duplicates have also been updated. Now, as you can see here, the duplicates also inherit the master when changing column width or column order. If you don't want that, you can detach the duplicate from the main table. To do that, select the duplicate table and click on the Detach Table action button. You can recognize detached tables by their name. If I would now change a column width or order in the main table, the duplicate no longer updates. Secondly, you see that the resizing and reordering features are now available in the duplicated table too. Remember, detaching a table allows you to change column widths and order independently. All other styling will still inherit the master table. Chapter 6. Duplicating rows and columns. To duplicate a row, simply select one and hit Command D. If necessary, reset the zebra styling by selecting the table and clicking on the Reset Zebra action button. Remember, do not duplicate the first row, as it is the master for all other rows. To duplicate a column, select the first cell and hit Command D. After duplicating, set the table header. To do this, select the header cell, click on Cell Variants, and switch it to Header Variants. That's it. I have covered all features of the responsive table plugin. One more thing though. As you can see, there are multiple variants available for the cell content. But if you want to go even more creative, and you are familiar with Figma, you can change the design of the header and cell variants to your likings. You can choose a custom font or color and so on. Just remember to keep the layer structure intact. I really hope this plugin can help you and speed up your work. Thanks for watching.